On the second anniversary of the Abraham Accords, Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz suggested to WION's correspondent Jodie Cohen that the Iran deal is likely to be on hold until after the United States midterm elections, and that progress is being made on building a regional alliance to defend against Iran. Watch.
I'm at the Institute of Counter-Terrorism's World Summit on Counter-Terrorism, where a high-level group of representatives from 40 countries have come together to discuss the latest in geopolitics and counter-terrorism tactics. And on the second anniversary, I asked Minister Gantz about the Iran deal and cooperation with countries that have signed the Abraham Accords, the normalization deals with Israel.
I think the pressure should be continued. If there is a deal, it should be a better deal. If it is a deal just for sake of a deal, we are signing to face a more challenging future ahead of us.
I spoke with former government spokesman Ambassador Mark Regev about what he feels will come next for the Abraham Accords.
That what we saw, I have no doubt that what we saw in 2020 with the Abraham Accords, we will continue to see movement in this direction. I think the process of Arab-Israeli reconciliation is unstoppable. We can discuss the pace of the momentum, but there's no doubt that for the first time in a century, we have seen in recent years a convergence of interests between the Jewish state and Arab states. We see a fact that no longer do we see each other as enemies, but increasingly we share concerns, we see common threats, and we want to work together, and that is unstoppable.
I also spoke with former ambassador to India, Daniel Karmon, about the alliance involving India, the I2U2 initiative, which he believes came about as a direct result of the Abraham Accords.
One cannot ignore one result of the Abraham Accords, which is the formation of the Joint Economic Forum, US, Emirates, India and Israel, taking the bilateral relations between each of those countries with the other partner and forming an alliance on economy, on important things for all of us. I2U2 is a great development which is a result of the Abraham Accords.
Besides this counter-terrorism conference, Israel is also hosting the Israel Defense Forces Innovation Conference this week, with military chiefs and senior security officials from 18 countries. This included an honor guard for Abraham Accords signatory Morocco, whose military chief is in Israel for the first time. And Prime Minister Lapid is also hosting the UAE's foreign minister for meetings in Jerusalem. With celebrations, bilateral dialogue and security and intelligence cooperation going on here as West Asia marks the second anniversary of the Abraham Accords. There'll also be reflection on whether more countries will join, something that's been talked about but is yet to happen. This is Jodie Cohen for WION, World is One.